Okay, so what is a NOLS Wilderness EMT course really like? If you want to know the difference between this course and, say, an urban EMT course, this is the video for you. Let's go. Welcome back, everyone. It's good to see you all. I am on the Weiss Wilderness Medicine campus outside of Lander, Wyoming, doing a month-long intensive EMT basic. I'm doing it for work. I had the option to do it near where I lived in an urban environment, and for a number of reasons I decided to do it with NOLS, in part because I trust the NOLS instructors. I know a lot of the NOLS instructors. In fact, one of my instructors is someone I have taught a course with. I was also offered a discount because I'm a NOLS employee, but this is a very, very different experience than doing an urban course. And something to keep in mind is that 15, 18 years ago, something like that, I did an urban EMT course, followed shortly thereafter by an urban paramedic course. And this is a very different situation. Let's talk about those differences. So the urban EMT course I did in Putnam County, New York, where I lived. There was an EMS training facility. I went right from that to working on an ambulance and volunteering, actually. It was the volunteering that paid for me to take that course. And that was spread out over 6 months. We met, if I recall correctly, Tuesday and Thursday evenings for like 3 hours, and the occasional Saturday, and then we did our testing on a Saturday. We did 8 hours of ER time. This course is run very differently. This is a 30-day course that is actually really 20 days of classroom time, although every weekend, like we are right now, we're practicing skills. We have a lot of work on the weekends. We have evening scenarios. This is an incredibly intensive, very hands-on course. We are all exhausted. We are all physically beaten up. It is a demanding course, but if you need to do it in a month, this is the way to do it. The real benefit of a course like this, besides the quality of instruction, besides the fact that I'm in a beautiful place in Lander, Wyoming, or outside of Lander, Wyoming, it's all inclusive, right? You could arrive here and only eat the food that is provided. There are meals provided 5 days a week, 3 times a day, and then there are leftovers available to students on the weekends. So there's plenty of food. Everything is here. You really don't have to leave. If you do have to leave, Lander, Wyoming is about a 10 or 15-minute drive away, where you can get just about anything you need. And it's super nice. It's a very intense experience, but the thing is that you sort of build community super quickly, and building community is something that NOLS is very good at. This is a little bit different in that I did an urban EMT and then got wilderness certifications beyond that. This is running simultaneously a wilderness course along with an urban course. So like tomorrow morning, we head to an ambulance barn to check out ambulances and see what those are like. A couple days ago, we had a helicopter arrive to show us what dealing with helicopters is like. It is a super cool experience. We did litter carries, and we're doing improvised splinting, stuff that you would not do on an urban EMT. The people in this group are fascinating. They're all doing cool stuff. Some of them are just travelers, but it's a lot of ski patrollers, a lot of park rangers, a lot of things like that. It is a great group of people. I am absolutely skewing towards the older age. The vast majority of the students are in their 20s and early 30s, with a smattering of people in their 40s and a handful of us in our 50s, late 50s, early 60s. I am not the oldest. I absolutely expected to be the oldest. Another nice thing is that there is housing right here on campus. The campus is about 200 acres. As I said, it's absolutely beautiful. We have been all over this campus doing scenarios, but there is housing here and that you can stay in. I am, of course, staying in the van because I've got the van and it's my home. The housing is great. Each little cabin has 2 sides. On each side, they can house 5 people, two bedrooms with 2 beds, and then a loft room on its own, up a ladder. So you can fit, what is that? 2, 4, 5 on each side. That's 10 per cabin. The entire time I've been here, there have been 2 EMT courses running. They're shuffled by 2 weeks. So there was a course that started 2 weeks before us. They finished a few days ago, and then a new course started a couple of days after they left. So there is a lot of activity going on here. All of us are working on the same thing. So there's a lot of practice going on at night as well as on the weekends. This is the textbook that we are working from. You also receive the NOLS Woofer Spiral Bound book, as well as the NOLS Wilderness Medicine book written by Todd Schimmelfinnig. Really great books, really great materials. Everything that you need in terms of for practicals and stuff like that, they provide. So like, I have my own stethoscope and gloves. I've been using my stethoscope and their gloves. I don't want to go through my gloves if I can use theirs. If I have not said this before, I might have, but even if I have, it bears repeating. This is an academically rigorous course as well as physically demanding. We're doing long hikes. We're doing hikes up into the hills for scenarios. There's a lot going on here. I don't know the exact ratio of lecture versus hands-on. It feels about 50-50. I could be wrong, but that's what it feels like. All in all, this is a great, if exhausting, experience. Okay, so who is this course for? You could make the argument that it's for people who want to get it done quick and do it in a month. But I'm going to make the argument that it's for people who are taking it a little bit more seriously. There's a much higher success rate on the NOLS EMT course compared to like an urban EMT course. You get a lot more hands-on practical skills than you do in an urban EMT course. And the quality of the instruction is way better. And I'm not just saying that because I know the instructors. So as I record this, I'm on day 18 of 20, and the last 2 days are testing. So tomorrow in the morning, I have a 100-question EMT final exam, and in the afternoon, I have a 100-question Wilderness First Responder final exam. Both of those are written. If I pass those, the following day, I get to do the practical exams, which there are 4 stations. There's a medical patient assessment, there is a trauma patient assessment, there is a splinting assessment, and there is a CPR AED assessment. I feel pretty confident with all of it. I've gotten good grades on my quizzes, but who the heck knows? Tomorrow's test, I think, is going to be harder, but we shall see.
3 days later.
I passed. So those are my thoughts on the NOLS Wilderness EMT. As I said a couple times, very hard, a lot of fun, academically rigorous, fast, a lot of information fast. So I would recommend it if you're thinking about doing an EMT. It's available through NOLS in this format. In a similar format, it's available from Landmark Learning in North Carolina. So if you're in that part of the country, that was probably the biggest pain in the butt, was having to drive 3.5 days to get out to Wyoming. But in all, it was a good experience that I am happy that I did. As you just saw, I passed, which I guess wasn't a huge surprise with my level of experience. I still have to do my National Register EMT test, which I will do later this week. Cross your fingers, but I think it'll be okay. And I leave Friday to teach a wilderness first aid course. So a lot going on. A lot has transpired. I'm hoping to do a little bit less travel the rest of the year, but I probably won't be. If you have questions about the EMT, put them down below. As always, thanks for watching. Do me a favor, hit like, hit subscribe, and if there's a hype button down there, hit it. See if it does anything. I don't know if it does anything. Otherwise, I'll see you outside.